They tried to expel me for laughing story? I thought Legally Blonde was just Hollywood fiction, until I found myself in an academic hearing that would have made Elle Woods proud. I knew Veronica Hill was going to be trouble the moment she introduced herself at orientation as pre-law with a 4.0 from community college, while flipping her highlights that definitely cost more than my textbooks. Mid-20s like me, but acted like she was running the place. By the first week, she was photographing students who came in late and keeping actual spreadsheets of who participated in class. This girl once raised her hand just to announce that another student was using Wikipedia. She even created a group chat called Serious Scholars Only, where she posted study schedules nobody asked for, and had already filed 2 complaints about me personally. My chip eating was too loud, and my sweatpants were inappropriate for 8 a.m. lecture. But the real problem started when she latched onto our new criminology lecturer, this other mid-20s woman who was clearly trying too hard to be taken seriously. Veronica stayed after every class, volunteered to take attendance, just ate up all the brown-nosing opportunities. The two of them would have these little conferences while the rest of us were trying to leave. Looking back, I should have known that toxic combination would explode eventually. Third week of classes, I met Dave when we both ended up fleeing Veronica's attempt to assign seats for optimal learning. Sweet kid from rural Indonesia, maybe 18, on a scholarship and still asking permission to use the bathroom. Dave had this hilarious innocence about him, like his English was excellent but he'd completely miss cultural things. Asked me once why Americans called it sleeping together when no sleeping was involved. Just pure golden retriever energy. So we're sitting together in this massive auditorium for criminology class while Veronica's in the front row recording everything on her phone for study purposes. The new lecturer, trying to prove herself, starts describing this really graphic case about a couple whose roleplay went wrong. She keeps saying fisting over and over, explaining how the man's signet ring got caught and the woman bled to death. The entire auditorium goes dead silent. Then Dave, sweet sheltered Dave, leans over and whispers, "I get why that's manslaughter, but why does she keep saying fisting instead of punching?" I lost it. Complete breakdown, tears streaming, couldn't breathe. Veronica jumped up like she'd been waiting for this moment her whole life, shouting, "This is exactly the problem with admission standards," and demanding the lecturer address my unconscionable behavior. She actually used the word unconscionable. The lecturer, already flustered, told me to leave immediately. Veronica followed me out recording on her phone, narrating like campus security. Student laughing at victims of violence, timestamp 10:47 a.m. By that afternoon, she'd organized a formal complaint with 12 signatures from her Serious Scholars chat and submitted a report about how I was emblematic of declining university standards. The complaint claimed my disruptive behavior created a hostile learning environment that violated her right to education. 3 days later, I got summoned to the academic misconduct panel. So I'm in this stuffy conference room facing 3 older professors while Veronica presents her PowerPoint about my pattern of disrespect and conduct unbecoming of a serious scholar. The criminology lecturer nods along, eating up every word. Finally, it's my turn. I show Dave's text. I googled it. I want to die. I'm so sorry. Then I call Dave as a witness, walking him through it nice and slow so Veronica can follow. Dave, what did you think fisting meant? Well, fist is what you make when you punch someone, right? So fisting must be punching. The panel is biting their lips. But she was describing something very different, wasn't she? Yes, she said the man put his hand inside. The woman that doesn't make sense with punching. What did you think was happening? Dave still looks confused. I thought she was using wrong word. My English is very good, but sometimes Americans use words weird. Like hooking up doesn't mean connecting cables. So to be crystal clear for Veronica, you thought the professor kept accidentally saying fisting when she meant punching? Yes, because why would there be different word for putting hand inside person? That's not real thing people do, right? The poor kid looks traumatized. When did you learn what it meant? After class. Google told me. I wanted to transfer home. I turned to the panel. So while Veronica was documenting my unconscionable behavior, I was laughing at an international student thinking our professor didn't know the word for punching. Veronica interrupts, screeching about maintaining standards, and in her rage accidentally blurts out that she's been documenting everything with recordings since day 1. The room goes dead silent. All 3 panel members' heads snap toward her in unison. Miss Hill, did you just admit to recording students without consent? Veronica's perfect 4.0 community college ego starts cracking. Another panel member is reading her complaints. Chip eating volume? He looks at us. You're free to go. This is absurd. The lecturer is melting into her chair. The panel chair adds, Miss Hill, you'll be meeting with student services about surveilling your classmates. She starts threatening to take this to the dean, the president, whoever will listen, but the chair just waves her off. Be sure to mention the recordings. Within a month, Veronica had transferred to another university, and Dave still asks if Netflix and chill means watching movies.